everybody, Stephanie here. Greetings from the refinery, from my holistic studio. And so I've come to you a couple other times with this Yeah to Yoga challenge. And so maybe you've not, maybe you're just tuning in. You can go back and look at those. But it's been almost 2 years ago that I said yeah to yoga, and then it turned into a year of yoga that I blogged for you guys. And then so now I'm going to pass that on to you, see if you might find the same interest just by saying yeah. So the first installment we talked about, the first challenge was pranayama. And so I hope that you've practiced that, and if you haven't practiced that, get to practicing it. Even if it's just one time a day. And check the different types of pranayama styles, not just the ones that we reviewed then. And then the second thing I check in with in my personal practice after finding the rhythm of the breath is finding the foundation. And so the second challenge was foundation of the hands and finding the difference of finding jellyfish hands and just reaching in an engaged way, and then finding that engagement, finding what we call the octopusing of the hands and the swirling of the muscles around, which takes it from being very stagnant to being very fluid. So today we're going to talk about the feet. And so not all asanas or postures are standing. So, there's different times that there are different things on your literal foundation on the earth. But again, it's even placement of the appendages when they're lifted from the earth that make a difference. And so we talked about that the last time with the hands again and engage, so you can bring them to heart center in a passive way, where you begin to activate, turning on the muscles. And it's the same thing in the feet. So before we come to stand, I wanted to say it's the ball mount of the big toe, pinky toe, and then the two back corners of the heel, and that's what we're going to begin to engage through. So possibly you've already warmed up, and if not, maybe you go ahead and just start at the standing while I get there. So when we come to stand, we're going to bring all four corners of those feet into engagement with the earth. And so the best way for me to find it is starting with my hip points, not the hip flesh, but the hip points, lining the heels underneath, toes going forward, and then lifting all 10 toes, grounding down through the ball mount, big toe, pinky toe on each side, both corners of the heel. And then lying the toes down wide and long, giving you a very firm foundation. And then where I find the biggest differences to turn on the engagement of all of the lower extremity muscles is to find that little hydraulics in the knee, so little micro bends, and then isometrically squeeze the ball of the foot towards the heel in a way that the arch turns on, and now all of a sudden so have all of the leg muscles. And so you add that with finding the hands in an engaged way, your Tadasana becomes something way more proactive and transformative than a stagnant, unengaged. And again, it's a practice, and every day is going to require something different. And so maybe one day you need that active Tadasana, that active standing, that active foundation, and maybe you need the passive. I found very few times that I actually need that, because I need for the presence of the moment in my mind to quit chattering, to find engagement. So it really works well when you go to find your balance. You find that four-corner foot engagement, the hydraulics, and then even when you begin to lift the other foot off the ground, jellyfish foot doesn't hold it, but if you find that flexion, find an engaged foot there, it does. And then you can begin to find that even with the hands, wherever you're taking your posture to your asana, maybe you even lift onto the heel. So these are all little things that begin to grow out of that firm, steady foundation. So I hope that helps. So we've focused on so far breath. We're focused on that engagement of hands and feet. Notice how everything changed as it turned on. Namaste, y'all. Legs out.